welcome. This is episode 39 of Super Flashy Arrow of Tomorrow. I'm your host, Sir Cussalott Travis Pointer, and I'm joined once again by my co-host, Mara, the Shark, Watkins.
Ben viendo, everybody.
How's it hanging?
Good.
How you been? What you been up to? All that good stuff.
I went to see Coco today. Disney Pixar's Coco.
Mm-hmm.
What else? I've been good.
Okay. Well, we're here, as we are every week, talk about the Arrowverse, give you our little perspective, show you our opinions, and, hopefully you comment down below and tell us yours. But this week was crossover week.
Woohoo, crossover week.
Yeah, man. And like last year, we were waiting on this one all season. Well, not all season, but the first half of the season, I guess. So what'd you think of this whole crossover week overall, Mara?
I enjoyed it a lot.
Okay.
Like, a lot.
How do
it made up for last week.
How does it compare to last year's crossover?
I liked how they scheduled it this year because I really it was like 4 days of things rather than just 2 days with 2 episodes each. But content-wise,
So you're saying you like the way they did it last year better?
No, this year I liked it better.
Oh, okay.
But content-wise, I think the story for this season was a lot more captivating than last year's, if you know what I mean.
So you like this year's better?
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay. Yeah. I can see what you mean. I like the Earth X story. The way they adapted it for, this TV universe and all that. It was cool. We'll get into the specifics once we start talking about each episode, but yeah, I liked it overall. Compared to last year, I liked the Dominators, but it seemed like it was, it was one of those weird villain things. They were just some aliens that they had to beat up, This year it seemed more like it was more personal for the characters and they felt it more.
Yeah.
So yeah, let's get started. Let's talk about the first episode, part 1. I guess you could say that's Monday, even though there were 2 episodes on Monday, but, whatever. The first part of Monday.
Supergirl.
Yeah, was it really Supergirl? Because it seemed like most of this was just it felt like a long episode of The Flash, but...
What can you do?
Yeah.
What's her time slot? So I'm just
Yeah. I know. I was just making a point. Like, the crossover felt like a Flash episode, which to me is a good thing.
You know what's kind of funny? Even though most of this kind of revolved around Supergirl, it didn't feel like it was really about Supergirl.
Yeah. The whole thing. The whole thing was like I said, it felt like a long Flash episode, which is not a bad thing. The only part that was really about Supergirl in this episode was when, that whole that time when her and Alex were sitting on the couch and they just decided they were going to the wedding,
Right.
But yeah, the episode kicks off with, on Earth X, and you see Evil Arrow running around killing motherfuckers. And we get a glimpse of Guardian. I guess that's your other taste of Supergirl. His shield has the American flag on it. But, he dies because,
Yeah.
that was quick. But,
I was kind of just like, damn.
Yeah,
this is a family. It's supposed to be. I thought these were family shows, family-ish shows.
And not when evil Nazi superheroes are involved. It's no longer family friendly when you bring in the Nazis.
This is true. Just like America.
Yeah, yeah. So yeah, back on on Earth One, Barry is running around fighting King Shark because why not? And in the middle of the fight, Iris is talking about the wedding because none of the other folks have, the other heroes, none of them have RSVP'd conveniently.
Right.
Supergirl's fighting the Dominator. We talked about how they were sitting on the couch. They decided to go to the wedding, even though Monel wouldn't be her +1 anymore. So she took Alex.
Fuck Monel. We don't talk about Monel.
Anyway. Um, we go, everybody, pretty much all the other heroes decide, yeah, we're going to the wedding, yada, yada, yada. But I want to really talk about this for just a second. Like, Mara, I really don't think Iris has any friends. Like,
no, I've even called that. Like, we never see Iris with anyone else.
Yeah, we've talked about this before, I know, but it's just
Listen.
like, it felt like a joke before, but now it's just like, yo, she really doesn't have any friends. Like, even when she was doing, like, this whole, I guess they're having like a spa day or whatever, it was all Barry's people. And then the wedding, when people like sitting on the bride's side of the wedding, the only dudes that were there were a couple cops. So those were her dad's friends. Like,
like, those aren't even like your people. Those are like, just like, you know how like when you're doing like a fancy event or a formal event, and like your mom has like this list of people that you just gotta invite for your mom. That's who the cops were.
Yeah. So that's all that we saw there. We didn't see any of Iris's friends at all because, yeah, now clear, she doesn't have any.
Right.
So back on in the lab though, Wells and Cisco like, yo, we got the solution here for your firestorm problem. We can separate you. Just drink this shit. Thing is, neither one of them would have any powers after that, which is not what Jax doesn't.
Not what Jackson wants.
Yeah, Jax doesn't want that. But we find out later his real thing is he didn't want to be separated from Stein because Stein's like a daddy to him and all that shit. But let's see. Then we get a glimpse of evil Supergirl.
My question is, where is evil Supergirl from?
What do you mean, where's she from? She's from evil Krypton.
There's an evil Krypton?
No, it's just like, she came from Krypton. So it's just like, just like regular, Kara on Earth, whatever she is, was influenced by, where she crashed and how she was raised. This Kara was influenced the same way when she crashed in Nazi world,
But that's what I'm saying is so you're saying from Krypton that there was a doppelganger of Kara on actual Krypton that they sent off into space as well?
No, if there's alternate versions of Earth, then there's alternate versions of other planets too.
No.
No what?
That's too much.
Why is that too much? That's logical. If there's alternate versions of one planet, why wouldn't there be alternate versions of other planets too?
So you're saying there's like 1,000 different Mars and 1,000 different Venuses and Saturns and Kryptons and
53.
Titans and, huh?
No, 53.
50, you know what I'm saying? Like 50, like I'm saying like all together, like 53 different Venuses, Saturns, Uranuses, Plutos.
Yeah, why
Mars.
not?
Oh my god. So where's like it's so oh my god. So much to think about.
No, it's not. It's just logical. It's just like if there's an alternate version of one planet, there's alternate versions of the other ones.
So there's just 53. I mean, I know there was like infinite universes and stuff like that. So there's 53 different, I guess, solar systems of like just mirroring each other.
I guess. I don't know.
Okay.
You're overthinking it, I think.
Probably.
Like, it's whatever.
I guess I'm trying to like make it make sense into like real world perspective.
Yeah, but that's not the real world. It's a comic book. So, you know.
But what if there are alternate universes out there, Travis, that are just different doppelgangers? What if there is
Well,
a
according to
universe?
physics, it's entirely possible. We can really get into that if you want to, but yeah, the multiverse theory has basics in physics, so it can be explained through physics. But you know, I don't have the knowledge, the time, or the patience to try to explain all of it. As far as I know, I only know just enough to make me seem smarter than I really am. But yeah. What was I talking about before you threw me off?
Sorry, evil Supergirl. We got a glimpse of her.
Oh yeah, that was about it there. So they all getting together for a dinner party, and funny part of this, I got a real kick out of Oliver being like, "Yeah, let's get married," and basically Felicity like, "Nah, bruh," and then screamed it out loud. She didn't have to yell it, like she really
Oh my
didn't.
god. Felicity reminded me of, like, a season and a half ago Felicity, when Felicity would just fuck shit up or like just do stupid things, and I was like, ah, we got like 2016 Felicity back.
So yeah, that happened, but we also got some Sarah and Alex action because you know Sarah's always getting some.
I kind of saw that coming. From the moment they started jerking, I was like, "Yep, that's gonna be a thing."
Mm-hmm.
Because they're the only two. They're like the only two female LGBT characters, in the same place. So I'm kind of just like, yeah, that was bound to happen.
Yeah, and then plus it's Sarah because Sarah's even getting used to even get with the, I guess you could say the straight women too. So
Right.
Sarah's always getting some strange. Is she having fun?
Yeah, she has 2 cups.
Then we get Barry asking Kara for a favor. We find out later on it's because he wants her to sing as Iris walks down the aisle. Then Stein is all like, "Yo, I figured out a way to give you powers anyway." And it was like he'd be like Spider-Man without all the cool shit.
Right. Like he was like pretty much a bona fide sticky man.
Yeah, like you can climb on the walls now. Like, okay. Nobody want that shit.
Right. I was
Uh,
like, do better, Stein. Do better.
yeah. Let's see. So, the day of the wedding arrives. We get the awkward morning after with Alex and Sarah. Alex is like, oh shit, and like, you know, tries to sneak out, doesn't work out. She's all fucked up about this whole one night stand thing.
Yeah, I was just like, she took it deeper than it needed to be.
We have a representative in Congress who.
Way to go, Mara.
Jesus, that scared the shit out of me.
They're watching us, Mara.
They are, clearly.
And you let them in.
I was trying to click something else, and then that popped up, and I was just like, oh my god, what's happening?
Yeah. What were you saying?
I was like saying that she was really like she made it make a really big deal about it. I'm not saying she shouldn't. Like, you know, sometimes I know these things are a deal to some people, but it was kind of just like, it doesn't have to be as deep as you're making it, though.
Yeah. Also, we got this moment where this server was being real awkward talking to Barry, and I'm just like, who are you?
I thought she had something to do with what was going to happen.
No.
And I was just like,
Yeah, she's somebody important. We'll see. Because she said that whole, you know, don't forget to say I do. So apparently them getting married is important to her. So I'm like, are you their kid from the future? Like,
oh.
That's what I was thinking.
I thought it was like a keyword for when the Nazis were supposed to come through. Like,
Nah, she's like, don't forget to say I do. I'm like, yeah, getting married is important. She was so excited to be there for the wedding and everything. I'm like, yeah, I think you're their kid from the future. Because she looked like a little mixed baby, too.
I thought she was Hispanic, but I mean, that's normally what you get when you mix black and white little Puerto Rican babies.
Black plus white makes Puerto Rican. Is that what you're telling me?
Yes, don't say I'm wrong. You know I'm right.
Oh man. Okay. So we talked about Kara singing Iris as Iris walks down the aisle. So they're up there, you know. Does anybody have any just cause why these two should not be wed? And then here come the Nazis, ruining everything.
Right. Vaporized him, and I was just like, y'all going straight to hell. Y'all just vaporized the priest.
My thing is, you're like, yo, y'all could have just let the the ceremony finish. Like, that was rude. Y'all still could have attacked. Like, you could have let him say I do and kiss the bride first. We also see during this whole fight, Mick sees Caitlyn turn into Killer Frost, and he was just all like, he just thought that was just the hottest thing ever. Like, okay, he's into Killer Frost. All right, then. Whatever works. Yeah, fight ensues.
I mean, it does remind him of, like, his former partner.
Yeah, I guess you could say that. It was a cool fight, though. I enjoyed that scene. I'm glad they mentioned the next episode, had to wipe everybody's memories, because as I'm watching this, I'm like, yo, none of these dudes have masks on right now, and they're all just
kicking ass and taking names.
Yeah, man, they're all just running around, Barry's all zipping around and shit, and yeah, cars flying around, Oliver's, blasting folks with the fucking bow and arrow and shit. I don't know where he got it from. Did he bring the bow and arrow to the wedding? Why did he do that? Yeah. Then they capture Prometheus and they're bringing him into a cell. And as I'm watching this, I'm like, yo, why didn't they unmask him already? And I find out because in the next episode, part 2, they unmask him. And it's Tommy.
It's who we would have thought it was last season when Prometheus was a problem.
Mm-hmm. That was the whole thing. It's just I feel like that was just some fan service right there.
I think that's what it was because, a lot of people were like, you guys bring everyone else back from the fucking dead. How come we can't get a Tommy nod, man?
Well, it's because Tommy's busy. He's on, I forgot what show he's on, but that show, he's a regular on that show, and it films in Chicago, so she just really doesn't really have the time. It's really
have the time.
Yeah, apparently for this one scene, he flew up to Vancouver, shot his scene, and then flew right back to Chicago and kept shooting. So just, that shows how much these folks really love what they do, that he really wanted to be a part of this. It was cool. I enjoyed that. Let's see. So it's after this, everybody's like, yo, where these motherfuckers come from? And then that's when Wells tells everybody about Earth X. And I'm just like, damn. I guess it's just like, yeah, they won because they got the atomic bomb instead of the U.S. So so Einstein stayed in Germany. And just like that, Nazis rule the world. Yeah, so Tommy takes a suicide pill, kills himself after he basically,
I was like, wow. Give us him back and then you just kill him again.
Yeah. Let's see. Um. So then we find out that over on Earth X, Oliver and Kara are married.
Yeah, that was so weird.
Yeah, it was interesting. I was just like, it's no, no different than the whole Wonder Woman Batman thing. So
Yeah,
there's
I guess. I'm just saying, like, it's just weird, like, actively seeing them, like, like, it's just so weird.
what were they doing, Mara? Oh man. Let's see. Then Oliver and Felicity have this talking. Felicity goes to explain her reason for not getting married, and her reasons made no sense to me because I don't think her reasons made sense to her either.
I was when she was saying that she just didn't want to be married. I was sitting, it's like, bitch, you were getting engaged you were engaged 2 years ago. Like,
Yeah.
what? And then I started thinking, what if Felicity is like married to someone else from like super long ago and never got divorced? But that was just me thinking from like a Grey's Anatomy perspective, because that's what's happening on Grey's Anatomy.
Wow.
Don't wow me. Like, it happens.
If you say so. Um, we talked about Stein and Jax and their whole thing when Jax not wanting Stein to leave because he's like the dad he
That's
never
his
had.
papa.
Yeah. There was more awkwardness with Sarah and Alex because Alex is just awkward about this whole.
I was gonna say, I feel like it is just awkward on like Alex's side. Like, Sarah was just kind of like going around about everyday business.
Mm-hmm. Speaking of them, because I'll probably forget to mention this at the end of the show after the fourth part, but I really like that part when they're walking away, and Mick asks Sarah about Alex, and he was like, "You hit that?" and she was like, told him to shut up or whatever. I'm like, yeah, she hit that. Let's see. I like the moment too when they go. I guess they're going to meet the evil folks to fight him and shit. And Supergirl and Flash get there first. And then Oliver finally gets there on his motorcycle, and he was just like, "Yo, I don't have super speed. Damn it!" Like he got
He's
left
like,
behind.
stop looking at me like that.
Yeah, he got left behind. He felt like a little kid or some shit. You know how like little kids try to keep up with people, but their legs too short.
My legs are too small.
Yeah.
I can't keep up.
Yeah. Then we see Oliver shoot evil Kara with the kryptonite arrow. I'm like, oh, good idea. And our Kara is all like, yo, why do you have a kryptonite arrow? And he was like, for moments like this. What you mean?
It's kind of like when they were talking about the self-destruction button on Barry's suit. And Cisco was like, because we've never faced against an evil Barry before.
My thing was, it reminded me
Like, it
though.
was kind of like when.
Go ahead.
I was gonna say when they first introduced Clark last season in Supergirl.
Mm-hmm.
And and he was like, why you have all this kryptonite? And it was kind of just like, what if you lost your fucking mind? Like,
Mm-hmm.
like we need these precautions, girl. You're literally like a god. So
yeah, man. Like, what if you come in contact with red kryptonite and you lose your mind again?
exactly.
But it reminded me of this animated Justice League movie, Doom, when they were like, somebody found Batman's plans that he used just in case he had to take down any particular member of the Justice League.
Yeah.
And they're all like, yo, why do you have this kind of shit? And they're like, if you don't have a plan for this kind of stuff, you're the idiot, Like, you never know what could happen. Let's see. Then we find out that Thawne from Earth 1 is with the evil Nazi folks. Because why not? Because fucking Thawne.
Why wouldn't Thawne be a part of this?
Yeah, we'll never get rid of him. He's just...
I guess that's like one of the cool parts of the whole time travel thing of the shows. I mean, except for Arrow, because Arrow doesn't really deal with time travel like that.
Mm-hmm.
But I think that's one of like the cool things about it, is that, we get to see certain characters come back,
Yeah,
well, I mean, it's always evil characters, but I mean, it's cool to see them come back.
Mm-hmm. That's even actually, if I remember correctly, because I'm not really all that familiar with the Flash comics, but I think that's a big part of why, no matter how many times they defeat Reverse Flash, why he keeps coming back, because they don't know where he's from. So anytime they get attacked, they don't know
which time of Thawne they're getting.
Yeah, exactly. So he can always just keep coming back because he's from the future. So it's just like they don't know what's going on with him and where he's from, or when he's gonna attack from, and all that kind of stuff. So he can just keep coming back, and they never know.
Pretty much.
Then we get this moment when Mick is asking Caitlin like, "Yo, how do you go all frosty and shit?" Like, which is I just enjoy the idea that he loves Killer Frost that much.
I mean, she would literally be the yin to his yang if she was always Killer Frost.
Mm-hmm.
She's like, when I'm scared or angry. So he came up behind and he was like, boo!
Yeah.
And she just looked at him like, the fuck?
Yeah. And I'm sure he would really enjoy her attitude also when she's Killer Frost. So,
Right.
So, A-Team goes on the attack, and Mick gets left behind, of course, because it's just Mick.
Because sense.
Yeah. But then, Oliver shows up at Star Labs. Evil Oliver shows up at Star Labs while the A-Team is on the attack. And yes, that was basically the A-Team. It's just all the good ones. They were all together. Yeah, he attacks the lab, takes the lab. That's when we find out like something's going on with Evil Kara.
Right. She's like, I'm weak and I can't get up.
Yeah. They're like, yeah, we need Supergirl's heart. Because, yeah.
Reasons.
Yeah. Couldn't just be blood. No, we need the heart because, that means she actually dies. We can't just do a transfusion,
That's what I was thinking. I was like, you can't just be like, we just need a copious amount of blood, which you'll regenerate, but we need a good amount of it.
Yeah, man, just take a pint of blood, we do a transfusion, and everything is good. Like, that's, yeah. Well, yeah, apparently she actually literally flew too close to the sun, and so she's, like, over-radiated or some shit. I don't know how that works, because Superman, I remember in the comics, like, literally flew directly in front of the sun and sat there trying to heal up and shit. But...
Well, I mean, I think Evil Kara, like, she's more of the red sun, right?
No.
Oh.
They still got their powers the same way. The red sun still, is what, like, it's the yellow rays from the sun are what gives them their power. Red rays, you just don't have any more power.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. That's why they put them both underneath the red light so they can operate on them.
Got you.
Yeah.
That makes a lot more sense now.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, shit goes bad because
Why wouldn't it?
yeah, and Team Arrow tried to help out, but it didn't work out because even when they were fighting against the good Arrow, they couldn't beat him. He whooped all their asses by himself. So why would they be able to fight a dude who's like has no problem killing them? And so he takes them all down, locks them all up. And the A-Team,
Collars them.
yeah, A-Team gets their asses whooped, and they get brought over to Earth X and locked up. It's like, God damn. And Felicity and Iris, they're like just kind of hiding and sneaking around the lab, trying not to get caught.
The two non-hero people, just like, let's just not get caught.
Yeah, yeah. And that brings us to part 3.
When they wake up in what are those? A concentration camp.
Yeah, man. Because apparently concentration camps just never went away, because why would they?
On the planet of Nazis.
Yeah. They got collars on to inhibit their powers and shit. And at first they were like, yo, all of us don't have power, so why do all of us have these collars on?
Right, Maggie was just like, why do I need this?
Who?
Not Maggie, Alex. Alex was like, why do I need this? I don't have powers.
Yeah, found out later why they got that shit on, though. They tried to escape and took them all out. Yeah, they got Supergirl. She's strapped to a table.
The progression that it took for all of these things to happen, like from the people not shooting them and stuff, it just took way too long.
Yeah, well, it's what happens. It's what it is. It's TV. They gotta tell the story. I also will say, I really enjoyed when Felicity and Iris were up in the vents and shit, and we got a Die Hard reference. I was all about that one. So after the Die Hard reference, though, we see Earth X Quentin Lance. He's a Nazi commander, and he sees Sarah, and like they have a little back and forth when she's all like, "Yo, I like girls too," and he's just like, I had a daughter like you. We got rid of her. Yeah, because he was like, "Yo, you have blonde hair and blue eyes. You're perfect," But let's see. So yeah, that's when they meet Ray, who we later found out is the Ray. Because that's a thing. You just put a "the" in front of your name, and that's a whole different thing. Now you're a superhero.
Hey, things are different.
Yes, whatever, man. But they're about to get executed. But Earth X Snart comes to the rescue. Citizen Cold.
What was I getting ready to say? Fun fact about the Ray. He was from this show I used to watch on BBC called Being Human.
Mm.
And it was very nice to see him again.
Okay.
That was my fun fact.
Okay, I'll take it. They're taking Snart saves them. They get loose. We see a little bit of the Ray's powers.
Mm-hmm.
Then they all go to the base of operations, I guess you could say, for the rebels or the rebellion, whatever you want to call it. The resistance, whatever. But then they see Win from Earth X. And he's like,
Completely different Win.
yeah, man. He's the head nigga in charge, though. And he don't do the bullshit. And they're all like, "Yeah, we got to get out of here." And he's all like, "Well, I'm blowing that bitch up." Like, yo, we need that shit though. I'm blowing that bitch up anyway.
Right. I don't care what you need.
Yeah. Eventually they do a whole talking them into letting them try to get through the gate first before they blow it up. We got a Jackson Stein having a "I love you, Dad" moment.
Right.
Then we get what I believe is the first man-on-man kiss in the Arrowverse. Is that correct, or did Curtis and his husband kiss before this?
I'm pretty sure we've seen Curtis and his husband kiss, but it might have been like a quick peck.
Yeah. Okay. Like, I wasn't sure because, like, I'm like, this might be the first one, but I'm like, I'm not sure if Curtis and his husband kissed.
I don't fully remember, but I'm pretty sure that they've had like a quick peck on the mouth.
Mm-hmm. Well, this was not a peck, so.
Oh yeah, no, that was that was a deep and sensitive kiss.
Yeah, it was a full-on lip lock, but
both actors are LGBT in real life, so.
Yeah, I did know that. Correction, I knew that about Snart. I did not know that about Ray, because I didn't know that actor, but I did know that about Snart. So yeah, they finally agree, like, yo, we'll give you an hour to get through the gate before I come in destroying the shit. Then I guess later on, Win changes his mind, like, no, I'm just gonna blow it up now, because reasons.
Do you ever realize that an hour in like these shows go by so quickly, or like apparently to them is so long? You know what I mean? Like an hour is so much time, but I feel like in our world, like an hour doesn't do shit.
Well, that's the thing. They manipulate that shit in TVs. Like an hour can like feel like an entire like 2 episodes sometimes, and then sometimes it'll be like, just 3 minutes. So it's just, it's whatever worked for them at the time. But I know what you mean.
Yeah.
We got a failed rescue attempt by Felicity and Iris because, they're not superheroes. So.
Yeah. They tried though. Yeah. So I mean.
Yeah, they tried. But I saw this.
It was a cute little attempt.
Yeah. And as I'm watching this, I'm like, yo, this better not work. Like, I swear
like,
to
God. If they outsmart them like that and then get away with it, like, I have problems.
Yeah. Like, first of all, Oliver is there. Yes, the evil Oliver, but it's still Oliver, And you got fucking Thawne there at the same time. Nah, I'm sorry.
Like, you got a dude who can vibrate his hand through your chest.
Yeah. We also find out that the Nazis have their own Wave Rider. So, there's
for reasons.
Well, I mean, they have their own everything else, so. So yeah, the A-Team is going in and trying to get through the gate by having Oliver disguise himself as Nazi Oliver. But eventually...
Nazi Oliver?
Yeah. So they deal with this shit, because we're going to show you Felicity from your Earth. Kill her, And of course he can't do it because he's all like, this is bad, and tries.
Because I was kind of thinking, I was like, yo, he's gonna have to do it on this Earth just to prove that he's who he says he is. But I was just like, but how do you go home and continue to look at Felicity after that?
Exactly, and like the morbid side of me wanted him to do it. Like I'm just like,
Yeah,
I
I was
want
kind of just
this.
like, do it.
Oh, I want
Do
this.
it.
I want this. Oh, this is gonna be interesting. Do it. Do it. And he, of course, no. He turns and tries to shoot, Commander Quentin Lance, and
Yeah, because I was just like, oh my god, fucking do it. Because
yeah.
because like you know how sometimes from like the crossovers, like it does it does affect them on their individual shows afterwards. So I was kind of just like, oh my god, fucking do it. I want to see what happens to you.
Yeah, man. No,
I figured they were just like, he's already going through a lot.
Yeah. So we didn't do it. That was disappointing. But we did get to see the Red Tornado again. So that was a thing. Because he was using, I guess Wim was using Red Tornado to blow the gate up and shit. So.
Right.
So it turns like, all right, Flash and the Ray, you go and you stop the Red Tornado. Spoiler alert, they try to stop him and they get their asses whooped. Then Stein gets shot. And I'm just like, oh, this is interesting now. Okay. Are we going to get dead Stein? And then the next episode starts and I was like, oh, god damn it.
They really did.
I thought they no. See, at first I thought because they were like, yeah, Gideon can save him, and I'm just like, really? Is that really what you're gonna do? We'll talk more about that in a bit, but let's move on. We're gonna start talking about part 4, and it kicks off. The A-Team is not doing well, man. Like they getting their asses whooped. Stein's on the ground. He done got shot. It's just not working out well for him. Bleeding out all on the ground and shit. But he somehow was like, yo, I got to get this shit open. So he crawls his old bullet-ridden ass over to the little console and gets it open. He gets shot again. That's when I was just like, oh.
I was like, that's overkill. I was like, that's just a lot.
See, at that point, I was just like, oh, shit, maybe they really are going to kill him. Because at this point, they hadn't brought up the whole Gideon thing yet. But then after that, they were just like, yeah, we can get him to Gideon. Gideon can save him. We connect to each other. We can get out of here. And I'm just like, oh, they're really just going to use this as a get out of jail free card to save him, And I'm just like, oh, this is stupid. God damn it. But, as we find out later on, no. They don't save him. Stein actually dies. And I'm just like, oh, okay.
Wait, can I just say, I forget the name of the actor who plays Stein, but I was kind of just like, one, he's always talking about how he's a really old guy, and I was like, I've seen older people than you. Dude, you're probably in your late 60s. I've seen way older people than you. But then I was
But they're not running around through time saving the world over and over again either.
This is true. But then my only thing was, dude's not how I feel like when you die on a show or you're playing someone who dies on a show, it's a certain talent you gotta pick up or you gotta practice it. Stein just kind of like, ooh, well, not like that exactly. He kind of was like, I'm just gonna drop my head, and then just be like, huh, and just kind of post up, kind of dead. He doesn't die that good.
Okay, Mara.
Is pretty much the basis of that story, or of that thought process.
Okay. What was I talking about? Okay, yeah. So they got the breach open. They take down Red Tornado. And they go through. But meanwhile, on Earth 1, they got Kara again. They're about to take her heart out. And, Thawne is trying to slice her open and can't. Turns out that Ray is sitting on her chest holding the knife and shit. Nope.
I was sitting there wondering, what's wrong with you? Did her skin toughen back up or something?
That's
I was
what I thought
what's
it was
happening?
at first too.
but I was like, way to show up, like.
Yeah, I'm like, yo, where are the rest of the legends at? Like, why are you all not being useful? But there they were.
Or even even with like some of Team Arrow, I was just like, where the fuck are y'all? Where is Siren? Like, not Siren. What's her
Black
name? The one
Canary.
with the yeah, Black Canary. I'm
Well, she
like,
got her ass
where
whooped in last episode when they tried to fight Oliver. Well, Evil Oliver, he whooped their ass.
I feel like they were only there for like seconds.
Yeah, and they got their asses whooped and then got locked up.
You right. Because I didn't even realize that they were there until I saw them put in Wild Dog into one of the containment cells. I was just kind of like, bro, where did you come from? You weren't even at the wedding, were you?
No, they just showed up afterwards. Well, they not part of the A team. They ain't on the inner circle. But I'm still bothered by the fact that once again in this episode, Vixen didn't get a lot of screen time. It was just she showed up kinda, and was just kind of in the background, and just her and
the new one.
Yeah, Zara, something.
I think it's Zara.
Okay, something with a Z. I forgot her name. We'll say Zara for now. But yeah, it was just like they're arguably more
two of your best,
two of your most powerful people, and they just did nothing.
Right.
It's kind of disappointing, but you're juggling a whole lot of actors here and a lot of talent, a lot of heroes, and naturally some people are gonna kind of fall by the wayside, but still.
Because they'll see what happened was they blew the budget on this one, as you can tell, with the amount of superpowers that we saw. Like, we finally got to see Firestorm several times in action.
Well, we did, but a lot of it was like far away in the background, so they didn't really have to, try too hard with it. But yeah, I see what you mean.
But even that one part, I think when they were still before they had went through the breach, when they were in that structure, I think it was, or maybe it was when they were back on our Earth or their Earth, and the construction workers are falling off, and you see Arrow just zooming around,
swinging
and stuff
around.
Like that. I was like, when did you start doing all that stuff? Like, son, you've been out of the game for a few weeks. Like, how are you just doing it again? Like,
you never lose it, man. It's like riding a bike.
But then I was also just like, when did you ever start doing that? Like, he just like, you would have thought he was actually flying.
Mm-hmm. That was funny. Let's see. So Legends save when they end up trying to fight Metallo. It's not going well, but then the A team comes back and then beats him up, and that's it, because the B team can't handle Metallo. So that's when we see that Jax is also, about to die because of his link to Stein. So that's going on. But then we got a good moment when Earth X Snart meets Mick. And
Mick instantly thinks he's going crazy again.
Yeah. That was fun. I like that a lot. They had their little talk, and yeah. Mick is like, all right, you cool, but like, you're not my boy. Like, what's going on?
Right.
Then I also enjoyed Curtis nerding out on the Wave Rider.
Oh my god, Curtis knows about everything, but this was like exceptionally cute.
But it was justified.
This is true.
Let's see. Then we see that not only is evil Kara, or Overgirl as they call her, not only is she about to die because of her radiation and shit, she's actually about to like go supernova and blow up.
I was like, way to turn the story.
Like, all right, so what do we do about this? But before we
fly her out into the solar system.
Oh yeah, but before we even get to that point, Stein dies, and And there's that. And Jack's got to go to his family and be like, yo, this is what happened.
Yeah, that was sad.
Then, Nazis are terrorizing the city. And then we finally get what we've been waiting for, the big old superhero showdown.
Pretty much. Am I the only person who was wondering, like, how... So, you know how, like, Oliver's under investigation by the FBI and all that stuff about his arrow doing? Like, do you think this is going to come up at any point? Like, the Green Arrow was seen at whatever this invasion was in that city. Do you have any comments, Mr. Queen?
Like, no, I was at my friend's wedding and we got attacked.
Okay, yeah.
He can kind of cover it up with that. But yeah. So we got them fighting all the Nazis. We got Wave Rider versus Wave Rider. Barry's got the chance to kill Thawne and lets him go because I don't know. I haven't figured that out yet. But then it's time. Overgirl is about to explode, but Supergirl takes her out into space, like you said, stops it from happening, comes crashing down to Earth, and Haywood catches her because he's made of steel, so he caught the girl of steel. Do-doom-ch.
Yeah, I thought that was funny.
But we did see Oliver kill again, though. He killed the evil version of himself.
Killed himself,
yeah,
and
man.
I'm kind of just like, how's that going to affect you?
Yeah. We'll see. Because I really do think, like, before, he had that whole revelation of how he had to stop killing people. Killing really didn't bother him. Or when he went back to killing again later on, one season. It doesn't really bother him to kill people.
I think because he knows that it bothers other people.
Yeah.
I feel like is why he stopped.
Yeah. He stopped because of how other people felt about it. He didn't stop because he felt like it was wrong. There's times when he this is necessary. I'm going to kill you.
Right. Like, you got to go.
Yeah. So after all that happens, Snart decides he's staying on Earth 1 because why not? Then we get Stein's funeral. There's crying going on. Jax is all broken up.
I was just like, oh, they're going to find a way to bring him back. Nope. We're going to bury him.
Yeah, man. So I had to pour out a little liquor for my homie Stein. And I'm just like, as they like throwing the dirt on him and shit, put my phone in the air and I was just like, see you at the crossroads, you won't be lonely. But then we got a happy moment afterwards because it's like, Barry and Iris are like, yo, we just gonna get a justice of the peace and, we gonna get married real quick because
they just kidnapped John.
Yeah. Because Felicity's like, yo, we know somebody who's ordained. Like, oh. There you go. Snatches him up. He throws up and shit because,
He was like, at least I didn't throw up. 2 seconds later.
Yeah. So Barry and Iris get married. And at the same time, Oliver and Felicity get married because Felicity finally just quickly got over her whole I don't want to get married thing.
Right. I was just kind of just like, oh. I was in my room standing right in front of the television, like, screaming.
And I'm just like, God damn it. It's just wrong. It's wrong.
Is it wrong?
Yes, because Oliver is supposed to be with Laurel. That is how it's supposed to be. All
You'll
right?
get over it. And I told you it was going to happen with him and Felicity. I told you.
That doesn't mean I gotta like it.
I told you.
That doesn't mean I gotta like it. That doesn't mean I gotta like it. All right? Because I don't.
You don't have to like it.
So, yeah. And that was the end of the crossover. And this
are they going to come back next week or are they going straight into their
I believe
break.
we get episodes next week also. I'm not entirely positive, but I think next week is the mid-season finales.
Midwinter. Okay.
Yeah. So let me ask you, Mara. Across these 4 episodes, this super crossover, who's winning?
Who's winning?
Yeah.
Let's see. Who's winning is Felicity.
I need an explanation there. Go ahead.
Because she got to marry Oliver. So I feel like that's a win.
If you say so. Who's losing?
Definitely Planet X. Earth X. Or Stein's family.
See, I'm going in a different direction. I'm going to say Barry's losing.
Why is Barry losing?
Because he had to marry a Cowboys fan.
Yeah, it does suck.
Mm-hmm.
But Iris doesn't like the Cowboys. Just Candace Patton likes the Cowboys.
Yeah, whatever. So this was fun. That's the end of this week's episode of Super Flashy Arrow of Tomorrow. What did you all think of the crossover? Let us know. Comment, Tell us what you think. Also, subscribe. If you're not subscribed yet, why didn't you do that yet? What are you doing with your life?
Why are you here if you haven't subscribed?
Yeah, just subscribe. Doesn't cost you anything. It's free. Just, click the little subscribe button.
Subscribe, like, share, do it.
All that shit. It's all free to do for now. Till the FCC screws us over. But until then.
The net neutrality thing?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah. Make sure you also follow us on both Twitter and Instagram at Creation Magazine. Also, you can find us on Facebook at facebook.com/Creation Magazine, or in the Facebook group for this particular podcast, Creation Magazine presents Super Flashy Arrow of Tomorrow.
Wah.
Yeah, you can also find me on both Twitter and Instagram at Sir_Cussalott. That is at SIR_CUSSALOTT. Where can they find you, Mara?
And they can find me on Twitter and Instagram. Sorry, I had to remember which one. It's Instagram and Twitter at @MaraDashark_. That's MARADASHARK with an underscore at the end.
All right. And that's going to be it. We'll catch you all next week. Until then, stay creative, stay free.
Catch you on the flip side.